Everybody, and also welcome to the media education webinar on behalf of all of us from the University of Lapland. My name is Lisa. I work as the international coordinator, and I will be conducting the discussion. There is also at some point possibility to make the screen or our picture a little bit bigger or wider, and I will give you instructions for that later so that you can see us a bit better. But first of all, we will be going through some information about studying at University of Lapland. And first of all, we will be meeting Heli, as you heard already, that she's a professor of media education and also director of Center for Media Pedagogy here in University of Lapland. And maybe it's nice to know from Heli that she's a really international professor, but she is originally from Lapland. And I would first like to ask from Heli, why should students choose University of Lapland?
University of Lapland is actually the northernmost university in Finland and in EU. Studying media education here is very excellent experience. I've been studying here by myself long time ago. And we still have cozy and inspiring atmosphere. We have very small class sizes, we have interactive lectures, and enthusiastic and easily accessible staff. What differs us from other universities, we can offer our students very unique Arctic learning environment in Lapland. This is very different. We have 4 different seasons. We are also truly multicultural. 25% of our students are international, and we have excellent student services. All in all, we have happy and very content students. According to both Finnish and international surveys, our university's international master's degree students are the most satisfied in Finland and in the world. All this will guarantee you a great educational experience.
That it would be nice to know more about the media education program. And my next question to Heli is that what are the general themes of the media education program?
We have divided media education into 3 themes. First is media in teaching and learning. I'm responsible of that by myself. Then we have media in society, that's Mari's topic. And then we have media and psychosocial well-being. And all these themes provide you with understanding and skills in different areas where media education plays a significant role. Media education aims at developing profound media competencies, media literature, and multi-literatures.
Thank you so much for this information. And then we would be continuing with Mari. You will get to know Mari a little bit better. She's the university lecturer and also coordinator of media education program. Mari is over there sitting with the green shirt. And the really special thing about Mari is that she really knows all the media education students by name at here at University of Lapland. So Mari, could you tell us more details about the program?
Okay, our program consists of 120 credits, and it lasts for two years. The students who don't have earlier media education studies, they have to start with bridging studies with basic studies for media education. Then we have main studies in media education, methodological studies, and also some elective studies which students can freely choose. Every student also does his or her practical training, which is 3 months. And then finally, everyone does their individual master's thesis. And I can still say that this is quite flexible, that there are also choices to make during the program.
What kind of teaching and learning methods are used in this program?
We are not, we don't like teacher-centered studies, but all our methods aim to make students participate in teaching and learning. And this is why we use a lot of interactive and collaborative studies. For example, workshops where students teach each other, and a lot of exercises and assignments. And this is true also for the examinations. We have quite few traditional book exams or written exams, but we use, for example, learning diaries or essays, and also group exams, many kind of assignments to measure how our students have learned.
Okay, then we will be moving on. And the next person who is going to talk is the International Coordinator of the Faculty of Education, Päivi Martin. And about Päivi, we could say that if you come to study at University of Lapland, Päivi will be definitely the person that you will be first meeting upon arrival to the university. And for Päivi, I would like to ask, who is eligible to apply?
Well, basically, the eligibility criteria is that you have to have a bachelor level degree on a background. We have certain areas what we consider relevant field of study in your bachelor degree, but we do appreciate the variety of educational background with our students, because we see it as a strength when you can also learn from each other. So we have some examples, for example, media education, social sciences, humanities, engineering science, or media studies. So really a variety of backgrounds, and if you think that you have a relevant background and you want to check, you can always contact us. Also, we accept applications from those of you who are still working on your last year of bachelor degree, but you would graduate by the summer, so that when you would be enrolling to University of Lapland, you have your full bachelor degree. Of course, because we are offering an international master's degree program, the important thing is that you have a good command of English language for academic purposes. And you can check our language requirements on our website. But for example, I think the easiest way to give some example is, for example, we require from TOEFL 85 points, or from Yale 6.5 average. So those are some examples. And we have a different system in Finnish educational system, that you're not guaranteed an admission to our studies, even though you are fully eligible. So all of our study places are highly competed, and not all of the applicants, eligible applicants, are automatically admitted. So it's very important that you pay attention to prepare a very good application.
Well, the next question would be that how would a student apply for master's degree programs in media education?
Of course, the first step is that you check your eligibility and the admission criteria. And there's those two things. There's the educational background and the language requirements. And when you're sure that this is perfectly okay, then the next step is to fill in the actual application. We use online application, and the starting page to start your application is www.studyinfo.fi. And there you get an online form where you first give your educational background, and that is to check whether you have to pay an application fee or not. All the students applying with the educational background from the European countries, they don't have to pay the application fee. But if you come from if your educational degree that you're applying with is outside of the European Union, then you would have to pay the application fee of 100 euros. Then, after checking that, you go further in the online application, and you have to fill it in carefully. It reminds you all the time about the checklist, that what enclosures you need and what further information you need. Then you finish and submit it. So nobody sees your application if it's not finished and submitted. Then the application, besides the online application, we have some enclosures that we require you to send us. Of course, we need documents of your educational background. So the first ones are a copy of your bachelor's degree certificate or a diploma. Of course, it can be, if you're applying with a master's degree, it can be also a copy of your master's degree certificate, and then a transcript of records for that degree. All of these documents you have to submit in English or in Finnish or Swedish, and they have to be original certified copies. And that can be only done by public notary or your educational institute. And then we need your results of a language test. Or alternatively, if your educational background is also a proof of your language proficiency. Then we need a copy of your passport's ID page. We need a motivation letter where you tell us why you want to study media education at the University of Lapland and how your previous studies have prepared you for this educational challenge, and what are you expecting from your studies, and what kind of research topics you're interested in. That motivation letter is actually a part of the online application, so you cannot submit it without writing that on your online application. Also, we ask you to give us a summary or an abstract of your final thesis in your previous degree. So this is to give us an idea of what kind of research background you have. So if your bachelor thesis have an official, or bachelor degree has an official bachelor thesis, then a summary of that. But alternatively, if your degree doesn't have such a thesis, you can then give a summary of some final project or a big written assignment that is research-based. And all of these, you collect carefully all of these documents, and you send these enclosures to the University of Admissions Finland to the mailing address, which is seen here. It's in Helsinki in Finland. And it's very important that you send all of these applications by the given deadline, which is the 29th of January 2016. And the application documents should arrive via mail to University Admissions Finland by 3 p.m. Finnish time.
Päivi, tell us more about if there are any tuition fees or scholarships for students.
At the moment, we still are enjoying the free educational system of Finland. So all of those who are applying for studies starting in 2016 autumn, there is no tuition fees for nobody. But it also means that there is no scholarship programs because we offer you tuition-free education. So Finnish taxpayers are currently paying for that, so that we can offer free education also for international students. And I think that at this point, it's very important you're hearing us, and Mahmoud will share the student experience, but besides that, you can also go to our website, ulapland.fi/medu, and see the student experiences. Then you can read more about the experience of our students. You can check our admissions website or see some of our videos from YouTube. There's instructions for how to apply for a master's program, or something about how to find yourself in Lapland and dare to dream. So go and see those. But maybe now we hear from our student who's joining us.
Yeah. So at this point, the presentation part is over. So we will just exit the presentation. there should be a possibility to also see the full picture of us. Probably, if you see us in the small picture and there is a arrow in the right-hand side or right corner of the picture, so maybe in that point you will, pressing that, you will get a full-screen picture, because there won't be any PowerPoint presentations or that left, so you would see us better. So if you find that kind of tag, just click it open. But next we will be meeting our students. Mahmoud Hassan is here. He's actually from Kenya, but he has been living in Finland for 6 years. And the first thing that comes to my mind is to ask that, why did you choose the University of Lapland as a place to study in?
Well, there are many reasons why I chose University of Lapland. But besides it being the area of Lapland being such an exotic, unique, almost magical location, I decided to apply for media education because this is actually the first time I saw the field of media fused with education, and I got interested, and this is actually one of the reasons why I applied to this course. And since my background was in communication, naturally I wanted to expand my horizon in this area. So that's why I chose media education.
What is your experience in studying in here?
Well, I have to say the experience has been excellent. Well, it's surprising that the University of Lapland is such an international community, blended with the Finnish students as well as the international student community, gives it such a unique environment. And that's what actually was one of the reasons why I thought it was very unique. Well, apart from that, the accommodation is first class, and it comes with sauna. On top of that, we have a gymnasium and laundry services. Well, that's very interesting to have that all in one for student accommodation. Well, also, the food is great. Within the main building, university building, we have 3 different kind of cafeterias, all with different kind of themes. And very interesting is that it's also cheap, and the food for students is subsidized. So we also have a language cafe where you can hone your language skills. There's opportunity to learn French, German, Swedish, as well as Finnish. So the student experience, I have to say, has been very, very much good. And as well for students, there are job opportunities, especially in the tourism industry. So the student experience, I have to say, has been marvelous.
What about the academic practices? What is your experience in those?
Well, what I really do enjoy when it comes to academic is the flexibility and kind of freedom which we are allowed. In as much as we have a structure in place, and there's that opportunity of independence to explore the field for yourself and cover niche for yourself. That's one of the things that I've really enjoyed while studying for media education. Also, the groups are very small, and in as much as the teaching is contact teaching, we have that ability or opportunity to study online as well. So on top of that, we have like a very good IT department at the university where you have problems with technicalities, technology, computer, software. They really come to your aid and help you. And the library, I have to say, is very up to date, and the scientific information system, especially where you find different kinds of databases available. So that is also very good. So the student experience, the academic experience, nothing short of excellent.
Okay. What would you say, what would be your words to students thinking about applying?
Well, what I would like to encourage students from all over the world to apply to Lapland, because there's so much on offer in Lapland, such a serene, quiet environment, but at the same time it's so international. The nightlife is good as well. It is a very good experience, and to have all this, I mean, the only word I have for this is invaluable. You cannot buy it. So dare to dream.
Yeah, it sounds really, really nice. Now we have the opportunity, you have the opportunity to ask questions. So there is a, let me see. There is the chat and the questions and answers session. So we will be taking a couple of questions that have been submitted here. Let me see. Okay, so the first question is, what kind of paper is needed to demand from my home university? The applicant will be, I will be taking my degree next July 2016. So the student is graduating in July. So what kind of a paper is needed at this point for the application? Päivi, do you want to answer?
Yes, I can answer that. In the application, we will ask you either your graduation date or estimated graduation date. And if you tell that your estimated graduation date is July 2016, we don't require you to deliver a degree certificate. Then you would only need to submit the transcript of records. So then no certificate is required, and we don't even require your home university to write a statement about your graduation. So if it seems that you will graduate by the July, and if your transcript of records said that you've been studying full time and it's realistic, then it's perfectly okay. No additional documentation required.
But this transcript has to be official.
Yes.
Yes. Officially certified transcript is needed. We also have a question about our other master's degree program. So for your information, the University of Lapland offers 4 master's degree programs, and you will find information about those from ulapland.fi/admissions. And we have one question regarding the master's degree program in tourism, culture and international management. So I would advise you to check the requirements for that program from also the admissions website. And about the scholarships, there is still one question as answered before. There are no scholarship opportunities or no scholarships provided because the education is free. We will still have time for questions, but I think we should take a short poll at this moment. So Simon, could you help us to upload the small questionnaire or poll? Okay, so now you will be seeing, hopefully there is under the question and answer and chat, there is a part of polling, and there are 2 questions and 1 open question, so 3 questions in total, and I would ask you to answer the poll. You have 1 minute. The first question, does this session make you more interested in the program? Yes, no, somewhat are the choices of answer. The second question, are you considering to apply to this program? And yes, no, maybe are the options for that. And what is your impression of University of Lapland as a third question? And you can type an answer there. Have you had enough time to answer the poll? You will have a bit more time to answer the questions. We are not in a hurry. So the poll will be running there for a short while. So if you are in the middle of answering the questions, you will still have some time to do that. But I also advise that if you have any questions in your mind, something that you want to know about applying, or what is it like to study in here, or the content of the program, just type in your question. So we are here to answer all of your questions and thoughts about applying. There is one question. It's not a question. It's a statement that I don't have the mentioned certificates, so I can't apply. So that is true. You can apply, but of course all the requirements will be checked. So at the point of evaluating the applications, there is a need of fulfilling the requirements so that your application will be accepted.
Yes. This refers to the language requirements, so I really recommend you to check our website, because there is actually a rather long list of different language tests that we accept. So you can use either those test results, or alternatively, there is a list of different kind of educational backgrounds that can demonstrate your language proficiency. So for example, if your bachelor degree is from native English country, so UK, Australia, USA in English, so that can also document your language proficiency. Or then you can check, there are a list of those different educational backgrounds that you can also use instead of official language tests. But there is we don't consider any incomplete applications, and if you don't prove your language proficiency, it's incomplete application.
So be really careful while fulfilling the application and collecting the enclosures. Do you have any more questions? Now it's the perfect time to put a question at the questions and answers session. Do you have anything you want to add at this point? There are no questions.
Maybe just a comment. We have had the biggest amount of applicants into our international master's degree study program in our university, and we still want to keep that way.
Well, if I can add something which I forgot to mention is that the staff, especially our tutors, they're very accessible. I think since we are a small group and the teaching is being done in a very small group, any inquiries, anything we need, they are very accessible. So that's a very good thing when you're studying for master's education. It's really hands-on.
And maybe one thing about studying here is that we ensure that you can complete your studies in 2 years. 2 years full-time studies, and we will give you a recommendation of what kind of study path to take. But at the University of Lapland, every student will have a personal study plan, so we can take into your consideration your background and your wishes for your future career, and then accommodate that to your current life situation and living conditions. So that is probably one of the really plus side of the University of Lapland.
So individual study planning, that is quite of a thing. We have now one more question. We have someone who has been an exchange student in Helsinki, and now we have a question about the expenses. What are the expenses monthly? I mean, housing, starting price for that. Are there also Unicafe in Helsinki? So about the price of living in here, and also about the student cafeterias. Who would like to start with the expenses?
Maybe I can.
Yeah, fine, go ahead.
Typically, our student housing, it's very modest price. So the prices vary from the lowest prices being 110 euros to maybe 450 euros, depending if you are living in a shared apartment or in a shared room or in a studio apartment. So compared to Helsinki, the living expenses are lower, significantly lower. The we don't have a Unicafe, but we have similar student-priced restaurants. And as Mahmoud mentioned, all the student meals are subsidized. So, for example, at the moment in University of Lapland, students pay approximately €2.60 for a warm meal, including freshly baked bread and salad and drinks and warm meal, and that's available even twice a day with the €2.60. Then and Rovaniemi is a very small city, so typically our students don't use local transportation. They use bikes or they walk, so there's no transportation fees. And then, of course, you can then spend some money on the nightlife and culture, but also the student union and the student associations and the sports services at the university, they provide a big variety of different kind of free time activities that you can do even free of charge. Or with the student sports pass and paying maybe €20 a year. So living expenses in Rovaniemi are very reasonable.
Yeah, and as Päivi meant, Rovaniemi is a small town, but also a big town because you can find everything here. So we also have student-friendly joints in town, and that's quite very good because not only are they in town and not only are they open for everyone, but they're so much student-friendly. And so you can never talk about University of Lapland without talking about Rovaniemi. So this is one experience you shouldn't miss.
And we have Father Christmas.
Yes, we are very close to that. We are the official hometown of Santa Claus. So during the Christmas time, we have it's a Christmassy town. There is Christmas songs played all year round.
It's only 10 minutes from here.
Yeah, the Santa's village.
Everything in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think one unique thing about the student housing in Rovaniemi is that you might have reindeers on your backyard.
Yes. And especially if you're driving with a car, you should be really careful because there will be reindeers on the roads. But concerning the living expenses, Bobby here commented that when Bobby was living in Pasila, it was €600 per month. But yes, as mentioned, it's cheaper. Cheaper. Yes. Yeah. Okay, and then another question. I graduated my bachelor degree in English education. Do I still need to have the language results of language test?
This actually depends that where is your bachelor degree from. So we have listed certain countries where we accept English degrees, and those are the English native countries like UK, Australia, US, and Canada, New Zealand, then European countries and Nordic countries. But you can check the full list on our website. But unfortunately, at the moment, we don't accept if you have an English degree, English taught degree, for example, from Asia or African countries or South America. So that's best to check.
Yeah. So depending on the country where you have completed your education. Any more questions? Now it's a great chance. We have all the most important people of media education here at the webinar. So if you have anything at all, just go ahead. We are waiting for your questions. Okay, well, it seems like there wouldn't be any questions. Am I right? You can just type that, yes, I want to ask something if you are still in the middle of... Okay, now we have a question. My bachelor thesis is based on technology in education. What do you think about that kind of educational background?
That's very good background to start with here. In my stream, media in teaching and learning, we have a lot of that kind of contents that are dealing with ICTs in education and pedagogical models of educational use of ICT. So technology education is very good background to start with here.
And if you have any questions after the webinar, okay, well, ICT connected to music education.
Yeah. That goes fine as well, yeah. It works.
So it's a flexible background.
Very flexible, very flexible.
Yes, and so if after the webinar you still have some questions, there is a lot of information at our website, and there you can see still the media education website, ulapland.fi/medu, a shortcut. And also we have you can get service by email, contacting us with admissions@ulapland.fi, and we will be also answering your questions via email if there is still something that you would like to ask. But since we don't have any other questions, if I'm correct, I would ask Heli to give your final words for the applicants.
Maybe one comment dealing with our students' interest after these years when they have been studying here in master's degree study program. Many of them are willing to start PhD study process, so that's one option if you really like us. And it's my great pleasure to wish you all welcome to study media education here in our university and join our Arctic Dream Team.
Thank you so much. Our webinar has ended.